So again, this is really about getting you all prepared and getting you all comfortable with the midterm. Before we jump back into where we left off on the study guide, I believe we have one more reading to cover. Are there any general questions about the midterm or the submission of your journals?
Um, yeah, just quick. Oh, sorry. Was somebody's mic on?
Okay, you can go.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just asking because I ended up lagging out yesterday. Um, so we answer the questions, right? That's part of our exam. Isn't there another part that we have to do as well?
No, it's just answering the two of the three essay questions. I'm sorry, three of the five essay questions. And
Okay.
then you have to submit the journal, right? That's a separate part from the midterm, but that is also going to be due on Monday by the end of the day.
Okay.
And then Olivia, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about the journals. When are you gonna post which ones we need exactly?
I'll have that up by the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else, any general questions about the midterm or the submission of the journals? For the journal submission, they are obviously submitted electronic. So I do ask that you have those fully typed out. Please submit them as one solid PDF with the various journal entries. That way I'm not having to open up several different PDFs. So please submit it as one solid journal entry. And then again, that will be due by the end of the day Monday with the midterm itself. So let me pull up the midterm review study guide, and then we'll pick up where we left off. I believe it's one more reading. And I think it's might be the boys, but we'll see. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So I don't. Did we cover Van Sertima? They came before Columbus on Wednesday, on Monday.
This Monday
Yes,
or
this past Monday.
I remember we. Oh wait, wrong question. I believe we did talk about it.
Olivia, do you remember if we went over Van Sertima or not? They came before Columbus.
The last thing that I have in my notes was from what is it? The souls of Black folks.
Okay. Okay. So then
Yeah.
we covered that. All right. So if we covered the souls of Black folks, then that's essentially everything. So with that being said, is there anything
Oh,
you
sorry, wait. No, we didn't. I just had that copy pasted. I think the last thing, it was in the stereotypes and destruction.
Yeah, I
Like,
want to say we stopped here
yeah,
at destruction of Black civilization.
yeah, I just had it copy pasted in the doc. That's why. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. So we'll go through Van Sertima, they came before Columbus. We'll go through Du Bois's The Souls of Black Folks. And then whatever questions that you may have, we'll take some time to address those. And then, at that point, it's really up to you all what you want to do with the remainder of the time. So thinking about what we've read for Ivan Van Sertima's, They Came Before Columbus. The questions posed within the study guide. Be prepared to engage a discourse on the two foundational elements of cultural confluences between African and indigenous culture, and why is such a central area of focus for Van Sertima, and why is this such a central area of focus for Van Sertima? So to be able to kind of address this question, we have to think about what were the two main ways that these cultures collided or they met and produced a new form of culture, right? Can anyone think to the ways that Van Sertima articulated as to how African people were able to mix culture with indigenous people? There was two specific things that he says. Nobody knows the cultural confluences between the indigenous and African culture according to Van Sertima. So one being the confluence of blood, right? And he says that's a little less remarkable when two groups come together. The natural thing for them to do is to reproduce, right? So the confluence of blood is not as remarkable as the confluence of the culture itself. One of the ways that he speaks to the confluence of culture is through the language, and it's also through the religious practices, right? So you may want to revisit that reading and revisit the journal for that reading to help you kind of ground yourself within some of the main points within that. Why is Mexico such a central area of focus for Van Sertima? Again, that is the area where you see a very large cultural confluence between the African and indigenous culture, right? This is the area where you find the Olmec heads and the basis for the Olmec civilization. Again, going back to the first part of the question, to whereas obviously, right, people come together and reproduce, so that causes blood to be mixed. But what Van Sertima became more attentive to was the mixing of culture, again, that is displayed through religious practices, languages, and cultural customs. Looking at Du Bois as the soul of Black folks, the opening chapter of our spiritual striving. How does Du Bois employ the veil, and how does the veil relate to the two worlds? How would you situate double consciousness into Du Bois's thesis, and what does Du Bois offer as a solution to double consciousness? So what is the veil is the first place I would, you want to kind of start with. So how are you thinking about how W.E.B. Du Bois articulates what the veil is and the work that the veil does? So can anybody speak to what the veil is?
It's like an invisible like boundary or like the separator that kind of separates black and white.
Perfect, right? So that allows you to think about the two worlds, right? So the next portion of the question is, how does the veil relate to the two worlds? And Olivia already tells us it separates the two worlds, right? It's a demarcation between the two worlds. It divides the two worlds, right? So thinking about double consciousness, and he says within the text, it's a particular sensation, this double consciousness, right? Two thoughts, two warring ideals, two bodies, two souls, two unreconciled strivings in one dark body whose dogged strength alone caused it from being torn asunder, right? So if this is what double consciousness does, right, you want to be able to kind of explain what double consciousness is. So who could kind of talk to me in your own words, what is double consciousness?
I feel like it's kind of just having not like a split personality, but having two versions that you present of yourself as I think he described it as like a defense mechanism almost. Um just like um one that you like truly identify yourself with, and then one that you feel like you have to put on a front to please like those around you.
Okay, so I think what's happening, Olivia, is you're using code switching to help you think about double consciousness, which is okay, right? I argue that code switching was a byproduct of double consciousness. Because of double consciousness, we code switch, right? Which is okay, because that's going to allow you to get to where you need to be. But if we're thinking about double consciousness in particular, right, you're right in the sense that it creates this double, right? But where it really stems from is how the outside world views you, right? How the Western world, how the white world views your blackness and your black body, right? And then how you feel and how you view your black body. And then the tension that is produced between the conflict that arises between those separations, right? This is what this notion of double consciousness is. So if we are to think about double consciousness in the terms of code switching, right, that should bring you to the assignment that I had you do about code switching, right? And if you're at the assignment that I had you do for code switching, what do you think Du Bois's solution is to double consciousness? Someone besides Olivia.
Can you repeat that question? You said, what is Du Bois?
What is his solution to double consciousness? Does he offer as a solution? All right. So if the double consciousness is about the double and about how the white world views you and how you view yourself, what is the solution? And again, I stated, if you're using code switching to help you think about double consciousness, I gave you an assignment that surrounded or pertained to code switching, and to do something as it pertained to code switching that should help you think about what Du Bois' solution is for double consciousness. Nobody?
What we like to promote like individualism?
No.
I could be wrong because I may just be thinking of code switching again, but it was to just act how you normally would. Like, don't try to, you know, split yourself up into that double consciousness. Like, just be true to yourself.
Be yourself. Absolutely. Right. This is why I had you do the assignment of not code switching, right? To honor your true, pure, and authentic self. Yes, and to kind of pull from the actual text itself, right, is to allow your culture to be recognized as a co-worker, right? So this is why he argues that we don't have to worry about the double, right? We have to understand that our pure, authentic self is enough, right? You cannot have your culture to be viewed as an equal if you're always trying to capitulate to the dominant culture or to the other's culture. So those are the readings that we'll deal with. You will have 3 to choose from. You'll have 5 to choose 3 from, right? So you'll just choose 3 of the 5. Do the ones that feel most comfortable for you. Again, it will be due Monday. At the end of day Monday, it will be available tomorrow. So you have a few days to get this done. Don't wait to the last minute. I suggest doing a question a day to better give you the time to get through it in a way that it feels comfortable. After tomorrow, once the midterm is posted, I will no longer be available as a resource. So if you have questions, utilize the time now or shoot me a line before the end of day today. Also make sure, as I mentioned, to turn in those journals as soon as possible. Sorry, not as soon as possible, turn on those journals with the midterm. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts? Do you want me to go over some readings that were already covered? What do you need from me to get you better prepared for your midterm tomorrow?
Quick question again. So for the journal, you're gonna send out like what exactly you want for the journal by
No,
the
that's
end of the
already been
day, you said?
provided, Katie. So you should already know what's expected for the journal. Your thesis, your analysis, your critical analysis, and your questions. That's what the component of the journal is. You should have a journal entry with every reading that we've done so far.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the last thing like that we're going to be talking about was the soul of Black folk. Like, we're not going to be doing the essay questions won't be past that.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Francisco, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I just need to look at other readings.
All right. Alexis, you good? Okay. Martin, you good?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
So, I mean, if I have nothing else for you all, if you have nothing for me, then we'll call it a day. Just so you know, I'm going to give you the whole day Monday to work on your midterm, so there will be no class on Monday. Do not log in. There will be no class. Take that time to make sure that you have your midterm and your journal complete. Again, make sure your journals are typed out and make sure that you submit those as one complete PDF, not several different versions of your journal entries. I want to just be able to open up one PDF and see all your journal entries. I'm available today for questions. Once the midterm is open, I am no longer available for a resource, but you do have your journal to look at. You have your texts themselves to look at the readings, whatever notes that you made from the readings or from course lectures. And then I will make sure that by the end of day tomorrow, the pre-recorded lectures are also posted on Canvas. So that'll be another resource that you'll have. I cannot emphasize enough, please give yourself ample time to do the midterm. The only reason that people do not do well, on the midterms is that they do not answer the question completely, right? And typically that is due to not giving yourself enough time. So if you can, it would be wise for you to do one question a day, right? Just take your time out, focus on one question for one day, and I'll give you about 2 extra days to do any type of editing or any type of revisions that might need to be done. All right. Again, if you have any questions, shoot me a line. After tomorrow, I will no longer be available as a resource. All right, y'all. Good luck. I'm sure you'll do well. Try not to stress about it. You're prepared. Use those resources. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Professor.
Sir, Professor, so you said it all should be in one document, that's it, correct?
The journal entry, yes, it should be one complete PDF. Please don't give me like a PDF for each journal that you've made, right? Just give me all of them in one document.
And then the midterm is just another separate thing.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Have a good one.